Good morning. Today we're trying to make or my wife is trying to teach me a Philippine dish um, called Tofu Sarciado. And Sarciado is from the Spanish language, but it basically means with sauce. And as far as the tofu goes, I have no idea how to cook this, so she's showing me. And 'cause I've never prepared tofu in my life. But anyway, we have to take it out of the package, rinse it under cold running water, and then we're going to pat it dry. Try to remove some of the moisture from it. And it has a lot of moisture, so you're going to have to kind of turn this and pat it and turn it and pat it. And once we get it relatively dry on the outside, then we're going to cut this into about 3/4 inch pieces. So that means we have to cut it in half laterally and then cut it vertically. Now we're going to cut this in about 3/4 inch pieces. And surprisingly, it cut very easily. It didn't take much effort, didn't require a super sharp knife or anything like that. So cutting it was the easy part. Now, in cutting this into pieces like this, what we're doing is preparing this for frying. So we're going to fry the tofu and then build a tomato-based sauce to go over the top of it. Now the oil is just a little under a half an inch because it only partially covers the blocks of tofu. It actually took quite a while for this to cook, probably 15 to 20 minutes. And this was around 325 degrees, the oil. But there's still a lot of moisture in the tofu that has to be driven out during the frying process. Now once she gets all of this in the pan, she's simply going to keep an eye on it. She's going to use a set of chopsticks, but you can use a fork or spatula or whatever. You just want to roll them over every now and then check to look for browning on the bottom. And then as soon as it starts to brown, then we'll turn them all once and cook the other side. Now you notice these are quite brown on the bottom, but they're still very raw on the top. So she's going to turn all of these and pretty much get the bottoms the same as the top. She wants to have brown on both sides. So now we're going to remove these from the oil. And what she's doing here is she uh, took about 3 tablespoons of the oil that was used to fry the tofu and used it for, excuse me, and used it to saute garlic and onions. She's got about 2 cloves of garlic there, and maybe a quarter of onion. And then she's going to add diced tomato. Now this turned out to be about 2 or 2.5 Roma tomatoes. The Romas have more meat in them and less juice, so they actually make a better sauce tomato. Now she started simmering the tomatoes here, but what she's going to do is take a potato masher and basically crush up those tomatoes to make a smoother sauce. Now you notice the tomatoes are starting to thicken slightly. So she's going to add a little bit of water to help thin them out. And she's also adding a pork bouillon cube. If you can't get pork, you can use chicken or beef. Um, but because of the bouillon cube, she does not add any salt to this dish. There's enough salt in the bouillon cube to fully season this. Now she's going to take a couple of beaten eggs and add to the sauce. This is to thicken the sauce, basically. And you just want to cook this until the eggs are done. Keep it moving so you don't wind up with scrambled eggs. And you actually wind up with a tomato sauce. Here we're adding a little pepper to taste. And then add back the tofu into the sauce. Now this all gets, and you want to taste this to make sure that the seasoning is correct. And that's it. That is tofu sarciado. Hope you try it. Hope you enjoy it, and best of luck to you.